Welcome to another episode of Review on the Street on Heritage TV. We're back this morning to collect the views of the bystanders as regards some of the selected topics on the front page of the newspaper. In our usual way, we'll be engaging the bystanders in the next episode of the program, collect their views and see through their analysis in our usual way. Stay back, we'll be right back. Welcome back. This morning I have the Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper with me this morning. And this morning I'll be starting with the Nigerian Tribune. And on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune we have PDP Northern Power Brokers mobilize ahead of NEC meeting. That is National Executive Committee meeting. Involve Plan B. Consider Lamido for chairmanship. How Makinde orders governor swayed chairmanship post to Northern region. Article meets governors. Promises to abide by zoning. Read more on page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune. FG set to release 19 billion revitalization fund 3 months after approval. ASUP meets today. Read more on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Ladi Williams dies of COVID-19. Details on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. How duplications of agency poor funding clocks Nigerians' renewable energy plan. You can read more on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. That Adamawa Kaduna Plateau set to join FIRS in legal battle against Rivers and Lagos. Read more on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. RMAFC begins revenues allocations formula review process today. Read more on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. 4 killed, 3 injured as high tension cable falls on church in Lagos. You can read more on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. Kogi governor exposes smell campaign plots against Bello. Says we will respond with applicable legal force. You can read more on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. That is coming from the Conference State. And we have scores fed thrown in River Delta collapse. Read more on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. FIRSC DSS office, Joe Igbokwe's house burnt in Inewi, 2 killed. INEC worries over worsening insecurity in Adamawa. Read more on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. Paucity of fund stalls federal road project in state investigation. Resident decree deploration state of road. Read more on that on page 2. And the Vanguard newspaper, on front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have alarm as federal government shocks private sectors out of bond markets. FG raises 4.7 trillion as corporate raise 802 billion. Analysts recommend options on private sector debt capital. Risk of sovereign default economy. Nightmare increasing. Use of debt as financial tools careless. That's coming from Hespart. Read more on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Northern Southern PDP stakeholders dig in for presidency. That is another clash between another disagreement between the northerns and the southern part of this country. You can read more on that on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. ASU, federal government in crucial talks to avert strike. Read more on that on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Against UNESCO's recommendations, Nigeria budget 3.6 trillion of 55.3 trillion for education in 6 years. Read one on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. Rotimi Williams, son Ladi dies of COVID-19. May Jenso rest in perfect peace. You can read more on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Release names of Boko Haram sponsored. That is coming from Reverend Kukah, the Reverend of Diocese of Sokoto, telling the federal government, particularly the president, to release the names of Boko Haram sponsor. Read more on that on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. How to stabilize the Naira by Teriba. Read more on that on page 22 of the Vanguard newspaper. Ethnic agitation shows Nigeria no longer working. That is coming from Nogil. Read more on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Terror in Nnewi, 2 dead. FRSC, DSS office, Igbokwe's house burnt. Suspend strike. NMA urge resident doctor. Read more on that on page 34 of the Vanguard newspaper. Against UNESCO's recommendation, Nigerian budget 3.6 trillion of 55.3 trillion for education in 6 years. Read more on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. With that, we've come to the end of this episode. We move on to the next segment of the program where we'll be collecting the views of the bystanders as they see through some of the selected topics of the newspaper. Stay back, don't go nowhere. Telling the federal government, particularly the president, to release the names of Boko Haram sponsors. What is your stake as regards this issue of insecurity in this country and the lackadaisical attitudes of the president as regards the issues of terrorism and others in this country, sir?
God bless you, sir. If you discover that Nigeria is in total shambles because of insecurity, a lot of lives have been lost, and the presidency, the government, they are not doing anything about it. It's so unfortunate that we find ourselves in a situation like this. And I think the earlier, the better the federal government wake up to their responsibility. We voted for them some years back, and we are expecting them to secure our life. When human beings are not secure, then who are they governing over? That is just the issue. So if there is anybody that is behind this issue, I think it is better for the federal government to name those people involved and nab them, so that this issue of insecurity can be buried once and for all, so that people can live in a secure environment. When people live in a secure environment, that's where we have good economy. We are talking about there's the bad economy. When there is insecurity, then automatically the economy will be in shambles, and that is what we are passing through in Nigeria today. So the government should rise up to their responsibility. Name those people that are behind these people. Behind this insecurity we are talking about in the nation, and I think that will help in solving the problem of insecurity in the country. Thank you.
Looking at the resistance of the presidents to release the names of these sponsors of this act of demonization in this country, do you think there is any reason whatsoever? Do you think there is a reason why the president has been feeling so reluctant in releasing the names of these people that is unknown to the public?
Okay, for example, the government they said they know this one and the people behind this issue, but they refuse to name them so that the whole world, the country, will know these are the people behind it. It means there is a reason behind that. It means maybe the government themselves are part of this issue. They don't want the problem to be solved. If they want it to be solved, they will name them and nab them. Not even only naming them, they nab them immediately and need something in the north. That is what we are saying. It means the government, they are involved. If they are not involved, they will have named them even before now. That is it.
Another political tussle here, we have northern, southern PDP stakeholders dig in for presidency. The original practice of People's Democratic Parties, I think one of their forefront ethics and ethos is that where they have the national chairman, if the national chairman is coming from the south, definitely the president will be from the north. And if we are not mistaken, presently now, the national chairmanship should be from the north. Well, automatically, in their practice, the president should be from the south. But from the look of things now, the southern governors or the southern leaders are trying to swing power within that area. That if at all, the chairmanship power is coming from the south this time around, they are trying to see how they can swing it around and make the presidential struggle a free fair between the south and the north. So whosoever emerge, let it be. They are trying to jettison the regular practice. What is your take as regards this?
Anyway, if you look at it, in the history of Nigeria today, the northern, they have ruled us many years more than the southerners. And I think for peace to reign in this nation for now, look at the people yearning for secession. If the government is not waking up to their responsibility, PDP, for example, if they don't wake up to their responsibility and say, okay, let us shift the president to the south for now, I think they are working towards breaking the nation. Because I wonder where the northerner again will come and rule this country for another 8 years. Southerners we kept silent. It won't work. It won't work. So, to my own opinion, I think all these political parties should work together, find a synergy such that the Southerner will emerge as president in 2023. That is the only thing that can hold this nation in unity. Thank you.
But in line with that, prior to the positions of PDP sagas and the power swinging, we have the southern governors bringing themselves together under the umbrellas of the Southern Governors Forum, saying that let there be president, let the president in 2023 come from the south. And we saw lately, around about a week ago, where we see the northern governor kept together in Kaduna State, saying that it's unconstitutional, right? Presidential zoning is unconstitutional. There's no provision for it in the constitution that power should be zoned. There should be a free battle ground. Come if you know you're ready as a political gladiators. Come and participate if you want, fine and good. They are stating the position of the constitution. But do you think morals should actually, or no, we should give credence to the fact that, okay, if you are doing it this way, let it be apportioned this time around, particularly when we have quota system, right? Equality. We both deserve, we are both entitled to this seat. What is your take? Do you think the Northern are playing a domineering roles in the issues of presidency?
It depends on how we look at it. For example, what the Northern governors are saying is this. If I should understand them very well, what they are trying to tell us is that we should negotiate. It is not in our constitution that there should be rotation presidency, but in a political forum like this, in a political atmosphere like this, we can negotiate with them. And I think that is what they are ironing out to us, that it is never in the constitution, but we can come together in a round table, negotiate. And I think that's what Governor of Kaduna State said just of recent, that it's not in our constitution, but the Southerners can come together, find a compromise, and let us negotiate. Then they will negotiate with the Northern governors, and then trying to swing the presidency to the south. Presidency is not the right of any zone. It is the right of everybody in this nation, be it the Northern or the Southerners. So I think what they are telling us is that it is not a must, but it can be a negotiation between the Northern and the Southerners. And I think the governors of the Southerners, they should decode what the Northerners are saying and swing into action.
Very well, sir. Let's look at the issue of ASU strike. ASU strike in this country, it's something that has come to stay, right? We've grown up, right, with the issue of strike and disagreement here and there between the academic staff unions and the federal government of this country. What is your take as regards this? If care is not taken, ASU is about embarking on another indefinite strike.
Thank you, sir. The issue of ASU and the federal government has been on for a long time. There is a negotiation between ASU and federal government. Let them come together on a round table again, discuss this negotiation, and iron it out once and for all. Look at it last year. COVID-19 denied our children from going to the school. Now ASU is coming again with strike. So it's a kind of wasting the life of our children in the universities. Let the federal government come together with ASU. They should avert it so that these people will not go on strike again, wasting the life of our children in these universities. I could remember when I was in the university, the same ASU wasted about 2 years in my own time. This thing can be solved once and for all. It is only that the federal government is not doing justice to what ASU is asking for. They should do justice to it, answer them, call them to round table before the strike comes in. Let them come them to round table and settle it once and for all, so that these people will not go on strike and waste the destiny of our children again.
If you say somebody is doing a particular thing that is wrong, there's every need for you to make the person to be known to the public. For quite a long time, they've been saying there are some sponsors. If you are sponsoring a child in a school, And if there's if anything happens to the child, you will be made to come to the school and show up so that they can know that actually you are the person sponsoring the child. In this case, you find that it is obvious that there are some hidden agenda which the presidency does not want the public to know, and which is very wrong. You cannot keep on covering them while the nation is on fire. I can say Nigeria is on fire now.
You think there is hidden agenda that the president is?
It's hidden agenda, and categorically I'm saying it with all sense of responsibility that there's a hidden agenda because the president is hiding the facts of this crisis from the Nigerians. So it's favoring a particular sector of the populace at the detriment of others, which does not augur well for this nation. Nigeria has not been so bad as it is today now. You find that even we cannot trust ourselves again. We've been living as a community for quite a long time as brothers and sisters, but that love has been eroded entirely by this present administration. I'm a key supporter of this administration from the inception, but right now, I'm ashamed that I've supported what is wrong because I don't follow what is wrong, and I've never followed what is wrong in my life, and I cannot be supportive of what is wrong. No, that is it.
Okay, very well. Daddy, let's look at this. The northern, southern PDP stakeholders digging for presidency. 2023 is fast approaching.
Yeah.
We'll be expecting another general elections where the citizens of this country will still have the right to choose another president that will rule them for another period of 4 years. Now, in the regular practice of People Democratic Party, the press where the national chairman, right, is coming from must be quite different from where the president will be elected. Now, the national chairman is there at the north, and by all implications, the south should produce the next president under the PDP administrations. PDP as a political party, let me put it that way. Now, from the look of things, the PDP are trying to swing it around. That though we agree that the North is producing the chairman, but this time around it's going to be a level playing ground between the South and the North. Whoever emerge, right, let it be the fate of People Democratic Party. But everyone knows that that is not the usual practice. The conventional practice is if you're producing chairman, the national chairman, the other side who is going to produce the presidency. What is your take as regards these issues?
I've said it times without number that the North has a hidden agenda. It cannot be the turn of the South now. You now sway things to do you now put it open to everybody. Where is it done? Even in the world, even in the whole world, there's always political arrangement in any community, in any country, in anywhere of the world. So that of Nigeria cannot be an exception. So since they have agreed and they now saw that the president is to move to South, they are now looking for all means in order to see that it is not like that.
But this is actually in line with the positions of the Southern governor. Looking at the meeting held by the Southern governor under the auspices of the Southern governors forum, and we saw what they agreed on. Their reconciliations, their agreement is that this time around they want the president of the Federal Republic to come from the South, where we saw El-Rufai saying that it is unconstitutional to talk about presidential zoning. That's unconstitutional. Very well, there is no way in the constitution where we have it that, okay, once the South produce president, the next time the South should produce president. Daddy, what is your take as regards this? Do you think the North is actually not dominating other regions in this country?
They will not be dominating, but they want to start dominating. Just like the Fulani agenda that the president has placed on Nigeria, they want to place the political sagacity of this nation on Nigerians again. They want to dominate, which is not possible.
You think they want to dominate, but do you agree that it's actually non-constitutional?
I think they are producing the president have been within their own internal arrangement and internal democracy. They have not deviated from it. But now that it's coming to the South, they are now trying to deviate from it in order to bring another thing and to bring in another logic, which is not good. It's not good now. We the Southerners, are we mad? will be following them, doing all that thing, all manners of things. Now, whether I don't want to know the political party that will come to power. What I know is that the South should produce the next president. It should not be the North again this time. We have had enough of the North. See what the North, see the calamity that the North has brought Nigeria to now. We cannot stand it again. When you give that power again, it means that in the next dispensation, Nigeria will become, I don't know what I will call Nigeria again, because already Nigeria is now a whipping child.
Wọ́n lè fi síta torí àwọn gangan náà wà ní àwọn gangan náà wà lábẹ́ rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ wọ́n àwọn gangan náà ń ṣagbátẹrù fún àwọn ìwà ìbàjẹ́ lábẹ́ ìṣèjọba Buhari. Buhari náà mọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ẹrù ń bọ̀ náà láti lè dárúkọ wọn torí pé tẹ bá ní kẹ́ wò dáadáa Buhari kọ́ ló ń ṣèjọba o. Àwọn tí wọ́n jọ ń ṣèjọba àwọn àdàlú làwọn tó mú mọ́ra tí wọ́n jọ ń ṣèjọba àwọn tó yẹ pé ipa ẹnu tẹ gangan ọ̀ká tó jẹ́ pé tó nǹkan bá sòótọ́ láàrin wọn lè pa wọn gangan fúnra ara ẹ̀ torí pé gbogbo ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà yìí à ń dárúkọ Buhari lóòótọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ìjẹ́ Buhari ló ń ṣèjọba bí so kèé sóun ló ń ṣe ìjọba yẹn bí kò ṣe pé àwọn kan ti gba ìjọba mọ́ lọ́wọ́ débi pé òun gangan ò lè sọ pé òun kò ṣe mọ́ so Buhari àti sọ́síta yóò máa ba wọn gangan lẹ́rù lóòótọ́ òun fúnra ẹ̀ gangan ní lọ́wọ́ fúnra ẹ̀ as a wicked mind soul òun gangan is a wicked soul.
ló tẹ́ pé pé wicked soul ní kí làwọn òdì.
no Buhari wulẹ̀ ti burú láti ilẹ̀ wa ló ti burú látàyè ológun gangan Buhari ò ti dára òun gangan burú fúnra rẹ̀ látàyè ológun so ọkàn jẹ́ pé wọ́n lérò pé n tó fi jẹ́ kí wọ́n múnú ìjọba ẹni pé wọ́n rò pé bóyá pé ìṣesí à yàtọ̀ yẹn pa àwọn olóṣèlú ibi tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n á ti rí ìbò ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti lọ píkì ènìyàn wá tí wọ́n mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti pọ̀ ju àwọn kan lọ tí òun náà ti lọ píkì ẹ̀ kéde gbá pé kéde kó tọ́ láti lọ mú gan normally ṣùgbọ́n nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tàwọn Boko Haram yẹn wọ́n mọ̀ wọn lè sọ wọ́n dá wọn mọ̀ a jọ ń gbé náà ni wọ́n tún wà nù síjọba wọ́n jọ ń síjọba lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ni bókè báwo òun náà sì mọ̀ wọ́n báwo òkè báwo ló ti fẹ́ dárúkọ wọn kò ṣeé ṣe tó wá fẹ́ mi tiẹ̀ gangan gùn kò ṣeé ṣe so gẹ́gẹ́ bí rẹ̀mẹ́ríkà ṣe sọ ẹ̀rù ń ba bàbá láti lè sọ pé nǹkan báyìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀rù ó mọ bàbá láti sọ pé nǹkan báyìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n ó mọ̀ wọ́n àwọn náà sponsor wọn ló ṣe táwọn ká máa tẹnu bọ̀rọ̀ ẹ mọ̀jà àtàrà jẹ́ Nàìjíríà ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kákan fi ọ̀rọ̀ síkùn bí àgbà kákan máa wòye wọn ni so mo mọ̀ pé everything gbogbo tí ò yọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa nísìnyí ó máa tó yá tó bá ti yá.
With that, we'll come to the end of today's episode of Review on the Street. The next two will be coming on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, Heritage TV. And you can also be a friend on Facebook, Heritage TV. I am your regular anchor, Yekin Abidemi. I'm my cameraman, Akintola Ibrahim. Co-producer, Rufai Ibrahim. Bye for now.